is video 3, part A of proofs. And we're going to just consolidate the final part of proofs, looking at how to prove something is a straight line. So looking at the first couple of properties, proving 3 points form a straight line. So here's an example here. If I said A, B, and C are in a straight line, what would you need to be convinced of to show that they are a straight single line? Well, one of the things might be the fact that A, B, and BC should be parallel to each other, because then otherwise it would be a wonky line. A second thing you might require is that they both go through point B, because otherwise it will be two separate lines. So essentially, that's how we can prove something is a straight line. We can say A, B, BC are parallel, and B is a common point. So those are the two things that we need to show that something is a straight line. So now you may have noticed that when I say A, B, and BC are parallel, they're actually, if they're a single line, they can't really be parallel because it's just one line. Strictly speaking, you should really say coplanar rather than parallel. Although you can say parallel in this topic. The fact that you've been told it's coplanar, it's just a bonus of being at Marylebone, it's just fabulous extra content that you don't get in any other school. So coplanar is the mathematically correct phrase, but you'll probably never come across that word again, unfortunately. They just allow you to use the word parallel. So in a way, it's good for you because you don't have to remember it. So copy this into your books. These are the two main points. Now, I need to stress that it is very important that you are able to recall these two facts if you're ever asked to prove something is straight. But they are scale factors and they go through a common point. It's not something that you're given or told, and this is just a slide that you're looking at right now. You should appreciate that this is a fairly very important piece of information that will help you get to the most difficult questions on the whole paper. Okay, so here's an example. Straight line proving something is straight. So B is the midpoint. So there's a diagram given to you. You've got AN and NP, which are labeled. And you're told that B is the midpoint of AC. That means that if this is A, well, that must also be A because you're told it's the midpoint. So that means that these two lengths have to match. Then you're also told M is the midpoint of PB. So in that case, I can just call that half and call that half. Find PB in terms of A and B. So I want to go from P to B. Now I can't go directly, so I'm going to have to go this way. So let's write this out carefully. PB is equal to PA plus AB. Again, looking back at the earlier videos, notice that I start with P, I end with B, and then there's a little chain of letters in between. It happens to be just one chain of A. Now, I know that PA is negative 3B. And I also know that AB is just A. So negative 3B plus A. So you may have been able to do that in your head. Now, part 2 of the question, this is the trickier part. So you can see it's 4 marks. So it should take you maybe 5 minutes to do it. Show that NMC is a straight line. So NM and MC. So show that is all a straight line. So we're going to do 2 things. In terms of mathematical skills, there's nothing new here. We're going to show what NM is. We're going to show what MC is. We're going to show that they are scale factors of each other because they're parallel and that they both go through M. Now, the second bit, proving that they go through M, you just have to say they go through M. There's nothing else you can say to prove that. So we're going to first find NM. I suggest, because I only have one more example to do, is now that I've given you a hint, so NM is equal to NP, let me just finish this off, NP plus PM. Now that I've given you this much of a hint, you should try to work this bit out of the question and then play the rest of the video. Okay, so if you had a go, great, it's good for you. Now let's figure out NP. So NP is just B, and PM is going to be half of PB. Luckily, those of you that tried, and hopefully you all tried this question, PB is actually something we just worked out already from part A. So then we can write this all out here. So this is going to be B plus half of, and I'm just going to bring this up. So it's negative 3B plus A. You then expand and simplify the whole thing. So then you have B plus, or in this case, take away 3 over 2B plus half A. So that's 1B, take away 1.5B, so it's going to be negative half B plus half A. Now we found NM. What we now need to do is find NC. So MC is going to be, let's write this out. So I'll give you a quick hint here. So it's going to be MB plus BC. Pause the video and try to simplify this. See if you can match my working out here. Okay, so now I'm going to go through it. MB is actually just half of PB. So they're actually the same as what I just did up here. And then BC is just A. Now, half of PB will simplify to, I'm not going to show the working out for this bit, that's just this bit here. That's half of PB. So you just replace that here. Now I have the working out already for you, so I'm just going to show you the working out. So you can see we've worked out NM. It hasn't been simplified here, but I have simplified it, so it's half B plus half A. We've worked out MC, and so remember PB is just this bit here. What we can then do is say, when you simplify them both, you get this. So you get half A minus B and 3 over 2 A minus B. I think it'll be better for me to actually go through this with you, because otherwise I might get questions. So half PB, so PB is negative 3B plus A plus A. You can skip ahead if you get this bit, just a few 30 seconds or so. A is going to be just A. So that's negative 3 over 2B plus half A plus A. That becomes negative 3 over 2B plus 3 over 2A. So looking at these as scale factors, what you'll notice is they are scale factors of each other. So a half times what is going to be negative 3 over 2? Well, I'm going to multiply by negative 3 in each case. Then so that's part one of the proof where I can say that they're scale factors of each other. Sorry, I multiplied by positive 3, it's not negative 3. Multiplied by positive 3. So they are scale factors because the scale factor is 3, or depending on which way you're going, and they are multiple of each other. I'm going to do one more example. This will be on the next video, so have a look at that.